From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for October 23rd, 2017. I hope you had a great weekend and are ready to get started trading this week. In today's video, I'm going to do a general overview of each of the U.S. currency pairs in anticipation of this week's trading. And I'm going to highlight some of the key levels that we will be looking for entry and exit opportunities. Of course, as always, be sure to use appropriate risk management strategies in all trade setups. We'll get started here on the USD CHF, the dollar franc. Of course, if you look at the bottom of the chart, last week we had a trade entry at 97.60. We were taking a long there, and you can see we're sitting currently about 106 pips of profit. We've seen a little bit more than that, but a decent amount of profit on that trade from last week. If you're still holding from last week, then you should be closing profit and protecting the trade. If not, we're looking for some new opportunities this week. You follow it back in time, you'll see the blue circles on the left-hand side of the chart. The first one on the right, we can see support into the purple zone. The one next, we see support into the orange zone. The third one, support purple zone. And even the far left side, you can see support at the orange zone, resistance at the purple zone. So we can see these two areas are where we want to pay attention to early this week. Let's go ahead and zoom it way in. Interesting enough, we have broken through the blue trend line. Last week we broke through the blue trend line. We've continued the rising trend, the red trend line, over the past several days. Our entry is all the way down here at the green shaded area, pushing through the pink zone, the blue trend line, pushing through the orange zone. So we really want to focus in on what's happening between the purple and the orange shaded area today, 4-hour time frame. And as we get down here, we see currently we had some congestion since market open, sitting on top of the orange zone. 98.55, 98.35 is that orange zone. So as long as it's on top of it, we may be looking for some support and another rally back towards the purple zone. Of course, a break of the purple shaded area, we'll look for it to go higher. That would be a break of 99, looking for it into the mid 99s, the blue zone at the top of the chart. Now, it doesn't have to do that, of course. If it turns back lower, gets back under the orange zone, back to the pink shaded area is where we'd look for it. So for the day today, I would say we don't have a lot of news on the calendar for the day today. So as long as it sits on top of the orange zone, focus on the trend. Look for it to stay above it. Target back to the purple zone or higher. Only if it gets back under the orange zone will we look for some pullback or reversal for the dollar franc this week. Moving over to the euro dollar, similar situation. Last week we had a couple of opportunities to go short here on this currency pair. We've been studying the head and shoulders pattern as a directional purpose for this currency pair, looking for short opportunities or reversal of the uptrend, the black trend line. So we took shorts or sells into resistance zones last week and had, again, a couple of opportunities. We're sitting 70 pips of profit on our last entry at 1.1810 is our last entry that we have right now, 70 pips of profit. Let's go ahead and zoom it in on this. Of course, the entry that we have right now is sitting here at the green shaded area. Several days ago, we also took an entry at the orange shaded area up here. So we've had some opportunities to see some profit gapping in our favor after the weekend, back down to the blue shaded area down here. So if we're going to see the head and shoulders continue, if it's going to confirm and continue, it will need this week likely to break down through the 117, 1.1695 level, the blue shaded area that you see here on the chart. We'll go into that in more detail in the live trade room today. But if it reverses, gets back above the blue trend line, that will likely invalidate the head and shoulders. But we really would like to see the continuation of this reversal pattern for the euro dollar. Looking over to the GBP USD, it's been kind of stuck for the past few days. Zoom it out a little bit, you can see the blue trend line, the red trend line, the black trend line, and now it's just been kind of consolidating over here on the right-hand side of the chart. Zoom it in a couple of times, and let me just take a quick box and put it right here. Right there with the blue box, as you can see, for the past 4 days now, we've been stuck in between the green and the blue shaded area. So I'm watching this currency pair for the next opportunity, really for the next direction. Is it going to turn back higher, break above the green shaded area and go up? Is it going to break below the blue shaded area and go down? Well, the past 4 days have been no help, have they? They've been stuck between there. If you're going to follow the direction of the previous trend, which is the black trend line, you might be looking for shorts into the green shaded area or the breakout under the blue zone to challenge the 100 period moving average and the blue trend line, the orange shaded area, down here into the 1.3 thousands. Now, if you're looking for the return of the uptrend, of course, buying the blue zone could be an opportunity, but more likely a break of 3240, the green shaded area, gives you another push higher again. So I think for safety's sake here, until we figure out what direction this pair is going in, it's the breakout scenario above the green or below the blue zone for the pound dollar this week. Moving over to the USD CAD, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, we've pushed through the black trend line, the long-term downtrend. We are still establishing the uptrend, the blue trend line here. In fact, challenging resistance highs. Let's zoom it in one time. Take a look back here to the left-hand side. The pink shaded area on the left-hand side of the chart where the blue circle is. We can see resistance and reversal. Now, we haven't seen that yet, but very interesting what happened the last time we were here, resistance and reversal. Of course, if it stays and breaks above the pink shaded area, not too hard to see that if you look at the blue box back here on the left-hand side, breaking above could go to the yellow shaded area as our next resistance. So we're watching the pink zone today. If it breaks it, 1.2630, we could be looking for the continuation of the upside towards the 1.27s. If it pushes back under the pink zone and gives us a clue to reversal, like it did back here where the blue circle is, we could be looking for it to go lower. 100 period moving average sitting just above the current market price. Let me zoom out again. Let's do one thing before we move on. Fibonacci, highest high all the way up here, top of the black trend line, down to the low, down at the bottom of the blue trend line. Interesting enough there, puts the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level at 1.2723. Guess where that is? Right at the bottom of our yellow zone. So right at the bottom of the yellow zone, long-term Fibonacci, 1.2723. So if it breaks 2630, I don't think it's too difficult to see that pressure back up there. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. There's the same pink shaded area. There's the same area that we're looking at. Look at it just kind of sitting there. I say as long as it's sitting within and above there, you're only focused on the upside, looking for it to go back higher. And only if it breaks underneath 2600 again do we look for it to go back down for the dollar CAD this week. Moving over to the USD JPY, I've zoomed it way out so we can see the long-term pattern. 2017 basically is highlighted inside the blue box or to the right of the red vertical line on the left-hand side. That's January 13, by the way, where that red line is. So since January 13, we have been contained inside this long-term range. Blue trend line, though, is our current direction, rising towards the top of that range. Let's zoom it in again, and you can see even gapping in our favor, going up in the direction of the blue trend line at the end of the weekend. So definitely something interesting there. The yellow zone has been historical resistance and support before. That's 113.90, 113.65. If it gets above 13.90, 114, we're back into 14.25, 114.50. The green zone at the top becomes an easy target. It's already challenging above it right now. Let's go ahead and take it down to the 4-hour. Take a look at what's happened. Look at that weekend gap right there. If the market pushes back underneath 113.65, the yellow zone, if it's back underneath it, a pullback down towards the orange zone definitely gives us another opportunity to buy on a dip into support, similar to what happened here at the blue zone. If it breaks 113.90 without any too much more hesitation, then we'll look for it to go higher. So really, I think at this point today, we need a breakout of this yellow zone. Below it to go lower, above it to continue the upside for the USD JPY. Let's move on over to the AUD USD Australian US dollar. And again, not anything new from last week. We've highlighted historical resistance and support around the orange zone with the circles and the blue circles at the yellow zone. And really, if we zoom it in here, it's not too hard to see. We've been kind of stuck right here between the orange and the yellow zone for the past several days. Today included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days now, bouncing around between the orange and the yellow zone. We talked about this last week in the live trade room, probably for directional purpose, given what we've seen over the past 5 days. For the next direction, uptrend or downtrend, I think we either need to see the break of the yellow zone for it to go lower, or the break of the orange zone for it to go higher. Until then, it could just rattle around in here like it has been for the past several days, really most of last week. We do get some Australian data coming in tomorrow evening, Tuesday evening, CPI data out of Australia, but until then, not a lot going on right now. We are challenging, once again, the 100 period moving average, but we did that back here, and then it turned around and went back up. So what I'd actually like to see today, for a more clear opportunity. Break down 7,800, that's the bottom of the yellow zone. Stay underneath the 100 period moving average. We'll look for it to target back down to the green zone, 77.45.25. So a break of the yellow zone is really what I need to see. 4-hour time frame, it hasn't done it yet here either. So we really need to get it underneath 7,800 if we're looking to go short for the Australian dollar this week. New Zealand dollar, we see the market pressuring back lower. It's been a significant fall off here for this currency pair. Just looking quickly to the left-hand side, the blue box that I have right here on the left-hand side, we see resistance at orange zone, support yellow zone. That'll give us a little bit of a clue today. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times there. You can see resistance now offering at the orange shaded area. The market today already 69.80, 7,000, 69.35. The yellow zone offering us some support right now for the Australian dollar. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. Sorry, New Zealand dollar. Taking it down here to the 4-hour time frame, look at what's happening. We had a little bit of a gap lower, now rising back up here into the resistance zone, the orange shaded area. So for the day today, and really the first part of this week, as long as it's underneath that orange zone, we have the opportunity to look for a short back down to the yellow zone. Your risk here is pretty easy. You just don't, at this point, don't want it to get back above 7,000 and the orange shaded area. And if it does, probably looking for some pullback or reversal here for this pair. So orange zone becomes a pretty clear opportunity to look for resistance and reversal for it to go back down in the direction of our most recent trend and momentum for the New Zealand dollar this week.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.